She's the best. She is the best. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Wow. She is the best. And that was my son, Tag, with her, and his wife, Jen, and their children, Allie and Joe and Thomas. Great to have my family here, to be back in our home in Massachusetts. It's wonderful to be able to go home tonight for the first time in 2 months. And Ann said it right. What a great night. There are 3 states now tonight under our belt and counting. We're going to get more before this night is over. On our way. We're so excited to be at the Bay State tonight, celebrating with family and with friends who worked just tirelessly on this campaign. And of course, it's such an honor to have the citizens that I served as governor as part of our cause. Your support really means everything to Ann and me, and I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to get this nomination. Tonight we're doing some counting. We're counting up the delegates for the convention, and it looks good, and we're counting down the days until November, and that looks even better. We're going to take your vote, a huge vote tonight in Massachusetts, and take that victory all the way to the White House. Now it's been a long road getting to Super Tuesday. Let me be honest, and my opponents have worked very hard. I want to congratulate Newt Gingrich on a good night in Georgia, and Rick Santorum on his good night, and Ron Paul for his steadfast commitment to our Constitution and his strong support almost everywhere you go. He's got good followers. Thanks, you guys. Nice races. Now, we officially started our campaign about 9 months ago, not very far from here, at a farmhouse in New Hampshire. It was a beautiful spring day full of hope and promise, a day that made us all recognize once again how lucky we are to be Americans. What we launched that day was an effort not just to win more votes or more delegates. It was the start of an effort to restore the promise of America, a promise that we know has been frayed by these difficult times. We sounded our clarion call across the country, from airport, tarmacs, to factory floors, to door-to-door, heart-to-heart, face-to-face across the country. I met with moms and dads and teachers and students and factory workers and business owners. I've listened and I've learned. I hope I'm a better candidate, by the way, for having done all that, and I'm going to forever be grateful to you for the help that you've given me, and grateful also to all those people who helped me through this process and taught me along the way. I met some extraordinary folks. I met someone named Norm Byrne, who for me exemplifies the innovative spirit that really built the country. Norm didn't go to college, didn't get an engineering degree, but he does have 100 patents in his name. And he turned a small shop in his basement into a very successful company that employs a lot of people. It's entrepreneurs like Norm Byrne who are going to get America's economy back on track if we can get the government out of the way. I've met parents like David MacArthur. Maybe you saw him on the Huckabee Show, whose children, in his case, have served their country in war. David's son was seriously injured in Afghanistan, as he described. He only returned from the front lines to face a new fight, to get the medical care he needed, and he surely has earned. And as I told David, I believe that to those who put everything on the line for us, we owe everything to them that they need. That's right! America's veterans, they deserve a lot better than long lines and reduced benefits. And as president, I'm going to make sure they get the care they deserve. So So in running for office, I've had the chance of meeting people like Norm and David, and their stories are, of course, inspiring. But I've also met some people who are hurting under the stagnant Obama economy, and their stories are heartbreaking. Some people have lost their jobs. Others are working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Some used to be middle income, and now they're struggling again right back where they started. As you know, the prices for gasoline and food and clothing and health care keep going up, but their paychecks stay the same if they're lucky. President Obama keeps telling these Americans that the recovery's here. But for them, the recession is not over, that's for sure. You know, from generation to generation in this country, Americans have always known that the future will be brighter and better. We've always believed in a tomorrow full of possibility and prosperity and security. That deep confidence in a better tomorrow is the basic promise of America. But today that promise is being threatened by a faltering economy and a failed presidency. To the millions of Americans who look around and can only see jobs they can't get and bills that they can't pay, I have a message. You have not failed. You have a president that's failed you, and that's going to change. President Obama. You know, when he was campaigning, President Obama said he'd create jobs. But for 36 straight months, unemployment has been above 8%. And he's also said he'd cut the deficit in half. And he's doubled it. I mean, as you know, the debts today are too high, the opportunities are too few. And we've seen enough of this president over the last 3 years to know that we don't need another 5 of this president. That's for sure. Look, I've said... This president's run out of ideas. He's run out of excuses, and in 2012 we're going to get him out of the White House. Now, President Obama seems to believe he's unchecked by the Constitution. He's unresponsive to the will of our people. He operates by command instead of by consensus. In a second term, he'd be unrestrained by the demands of the election. And if there's one thing we cannot afford, it's 4 years of Barack Obama with no one to answer to. So these days, you're the president and his team, they keep telling us the things